Hey everyone, it's Ethan Ormis back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video, and man, it's been a while since I've said that. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you for the continued support while I took a bit of a vacation. I basically haven't uploaded in 3 months. It's been almost 3 months, so I do apologize. Is there a reason for it? Not really. I mean, kind of, but yeah, I mean, overall, I wasn't really enjoying it, and I never ever want this to turn into a situation where I feel forced to upload, because then I'm just not going to enjoy it. I don't want it to feel like a chore or anything. So yeah, I stopped doing it if I'm not enjoying it, but I've been really wanting to do it again a lot over the past few weeks, so here we are, and of course we're going to be starting back with the series that I was always doing anyways. So as long as I'm enjoying uploading and recording videos, you guys will be getting videos. Either way, thank you for being here. So we're back with, of course, my favorite series, which is ranking every movie and TV show I watched last week. No TV shows, but some movies. We've got some really great movies. It was a really good week of watches last week, I won't lie. So let's get right into it and start it off with my least favorite of the week, which is Mission Impossible 2. I watched every Mission Impossible movie last week. I felt like this was a very boring movie. It felt really long. I had heard pretty poor things about this movie heading into it anyways. And yeah, it definitely didn't disappoint on that front. It was not a great movie at all. I gave it a 48 out of 100, so yeah, just nothing good at all, unfortunately. But let's keep going. We'll move on to a big jump to Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which I gave a 74 out of 100. And this cast was probably my least favorite cast of every Mission Impossible, so yeah, that's kind of just, that's a big part of the lower ranking and it being so low in my Mission Impossible list. But overall, I did think this was a good movie, which I did enjoy. The Burj Khalifa scene was really awesome, of course. Ethan Hunt is a madman, and overall a 74 out of 100 for myself. But we'll move on to Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which I gave an 80 out of 100, so that's still pretty solid. Personally, I don't find Sean Harris to be a very intimidating man. Although he is a great villain, I just don't find he's very intimidating. He looks much better in Fallout. I feel like he looks way more intimidating in Fallout, so that really helps, of course. I do think he is the second best villain of the franchise, or perhaps third best villain of the franchise, but we'll talk about that here soon. Nonetheless, the stakes felt pretty high in this one as well, and I overall really enjoyed this one. The first great watch of the week. But let's move on to Mission Impossible 3, which in my opinion has the best villain of the Mission Impossible franchise, which is Davian. Davian is absolutely incredible. He's an unreal villain. I feel like he's the most quotable villain from this franchise, perhaps the most quotable person from this franchise, and he's really awesome. The opening scene was absolutely sweet. I really enjoyed it. An 81 out of 100 for myself. And overall, a great watch that I thoroughly enjoyed. So with that being said, let's keep moving on to up next, which is Barbie. Of course, a brand new movie. I heard that this wasn't great heading into it, so my expectations had been a little bit lower, while before heading into this movie, my expectations were pretty high. I had very high hopes for this movie, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty great. It gets the 4 stars, an 82 out of 100. I really like the soundtrack. I've heard some discourse about the soundtrack. I really enjoy it, but that's, of course, my opinion. With that being said, I did really enjoy it. I thought the cast was great. It looked like the cast was having fun the entire time, and it seems like everyone had really great chemistry. I really loved Ryan Gosling and Simu Liu together, so that was really awesome as well. Margot Robbie, of course, is fantastic. And the underlying themes throughout this movie that definitely wasn't expected. So that's a positive, because I definitely wasn't expecting the movie to cut so deep, or as deep as it did. So that was pretty awesome as well. Really great overall. Again, I quite enjoyed myself. So, with that being said, on to another 2023 release, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. A fun and exciting movie, but definitely not the best in the franchise, in my opinion. It is, I believe, number 3 for me. Yeah, so number 3. Also, we love Rebecca Ferguson and Haley Atwell. They're both fantastic. The score in this movie was really great. One thing I really noticed about these newer Mission Impossible movies is Lauren Bell's score is absolutely incredible. It's fantastic, and I really, really love it. That's one of my favorite parts about those movies. So overall, Dead Reckoning Part 1 gets an 83 out of 100, which ranks it another 4 stars. And then moving on to Zootopia, which was a recommendation from a friend. She's very awesome. Anyways, an 84 out of 100. We watched it together, and I really enjoy it. It's her favorite movie of all time. So, yeah, I have a feeling I'll be watching it more as we continue on. But, yeah, so far, an 84 out of 100. Perhaps on rewatch it goes higher. But overall, I thought it was a great movie. Lands in the top 5 of the week. But let's continue on to the first Mission Impossible, which is my second favorite Mission Impossible of the franchise. I thought this movie was absolutely fire. I really, really enjoyed Danny Elfman's score. I gave it a 90 out of 100. I had originally had it at a 92 out of 100, but after watching Fallout, I don't think it should be as close to the ranking as Fallout. And we'll get to Fallout's ranking here momentarily, but overall, a 90 out of 100 is still, in my opinion, an amazing movie. I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. But let's move on to our top 3 of the week now, which at number 3 is The Flash. Obviously, it's no secret that I'm a big Flash fan, as you can tell. But I am still disappointed with this movie as much as I love this movie. It did lose a couple points this time. Originally, after the first 2 watches, it was at a 94 out of 100. With this previous watch, it's now down to a 92 out of 100 for myself. So yeah, it lost some points. I wish this was better. I am very, very biased towards Flash in general, Flash media, because he's my favorite fictional character, but overall, there are so many things in this movie that just are so frustrating. But with that being said, my biggest complaint about this entire movie is that I wish there was more Dark Flash, because he's got one of the coldest intros ever. His intro when we first meet him is fantastic. Plus, my favorite scene of the entire movie is when Barry time travels for the first time, when he goes into the Chrono Ball for the first time. The score, it's called Run by Benjamin Wallfish. It's fantastic, and I absolutely love it. Run is probably my favorite score of the year, so yeah, really, really awesome. But with that being said, we now move into the top 2, and at number 2 we have Mission Impossible Fallout, which... yeah, this one is fantastic. I think it's one of, if not the very greatest action movie I've ever seen. I really, really enjoyed everything about this movie. It gets a 96 out of 100 for me. It's higher than any John Wick film. And obviously we get to... that's a fruit fly. Obviously we get to... 2 of the greatest action franchises, new entries this year with John Wick 4 and of course Mission Impossible 7. But yeah, Fallout I think is the best of the Mission Impossible series, and overall pretty much no complaints to it. Henry Cavill is absolutely incredible. He's fantastic. I love him so much. And yeah, overall, again, Lauren Bell's score throughout this movie was fantastic. Once again, I truly enjoyed myself. And then onto my favorite movie of the week, onto what now is my second favorite movie of the year. We have Oppenheimer, of course, directed by Christopher Nolan. And this movie has certified Christopher Nolan as my favorite director, and I haven't finished his filmography. I haven't even seen, arguably, perhaps his best film. Some people would say it is his best film, in Inception. So yeah, I still have like half of his filmography to go through. I have Following, Memento, Inception, and I think Insomnia. I think those are the only 4 I'm actually missing. So like I only have like a third of his filmography left, but nonetheless, Yeah, I plan on finishing it. I absolutely will. But this movie was absolutely incredible. It gets a 98 out of 100 for me. The only 2 points it loses right now is, for one, it felt like a 3-hour runtime for a little bit of the portion throughout the first act. I just don't think it grants the perfect rating yet. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it ages. I am going to see it again probably sometime this week. Hopefully I can get around to that. If not this week, it will be next week for sure. So either way, I'm very excited to watch it again because Ludwig Göransson's score is an absolute standout. I think this movie is like certified to bring home Oscars this year because this movie's absolutely incredible. Like I said, Cillian Murphy is absolutely incredible. And Robert Downey Jr. is absolutely incredible. And the third act is absolutely fantastic. This movie feels so real. And, obviously a big portion of that is probably because it is real, but the stakes feel so high. The stakes feel so legitimate. And again, maybe it's because it's true and it actually happened, but yeah, this is a fantastic movie. Again, so far only losing 2 points right now because I don't think it's perfect, and because I feel like there is a little bit of a downside throughout the first hour or so of the movie. But with that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts on all the movies I watched last week. It was a big week, I believe 11 movies last week. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.